everybody. I'm amazing, and so are you, and I'm so glad you're here with me to practice mindfulness and yoga on this beautiful day during Post Oak Presents. So whether you're watching this live or you're watching a recording, I'm just so grateful and acknowledge you for taking time out of your day for being here. It's an amazing choice. My name is Beth Reese. I'm the founder of Yogiños Yoga for Youth, and I've also been doing some work with Post Oak. And again, welcome, welcome. So today, what I would like to focus on with you is really a bit about what is mindfulness and yoga. Like, we use these words all the time, but what do they really mean? And in exploring them, I also have some games to show you. And for parents and caregivers listening out there, I'll be showing them to you and how you can make them at home and practice them at home, like anytime, any place, or bring them on your next family trip, whenever that is. All right, so first thing I want to practice is creating a mindful body. And a mindful body is one that is upright and focused and in this present moment right here, right now. Are you with me? Now, sometimes our mind wanders, so maybe we're tired or we can't really focus, and it's totally okay. It's what the mind does. But we can learn tools and skills to bring our attention back to this moment right here, right now. So what we'll do is I have this bell. Let me let you listen to what it sounds like. I love that sound. And so when we hear that sound, that's part of our call to create our mindful body. And that's a mindful body of mine is one that we are purposefully saying, I'm paying attention in this moment, right here, right now. All right, so let's create our not mindful body. So maybe you're kind of slouched, or you're like tired, or just hanging out, or maybe you're like looking at the clouds, and when you hear the bell, we'll sit up in our mindful body. Ready? Mm-hmm. How'd that go? Is it good? All right, let's try it one more time. So not mindful body. Great. And the thing about creating a mindful body, it's also a way of saying, I respect and honor myself, and I respect and honor you. So I want to be present in this moment right here with you. Great job. Now, you notice we use our sensory input of sound for creating that mindfulness of body and having that sound signal call us into present moment. So there are other ways that we can use sound to help us practice noticing when our mind is wandering and bringing it back to present. So what I'd like to do next is lead you through 2 different kinds of sound meditations. Are you ready? Let me see, thumbs up. All right, good, looks good. And you know what, if you're like, I don't know, Beth. I don't know, Yoga Beth. I don't know if I want to do this sound thing. Like, that's totally okay, right? Feelings aren't right or wrong, they just are. And maybe you can give it a try, and maybe after you try it, you'll go, that was pretty cool. So let's give it a go. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do, or next thing we're gonna do with sound, rather, is I'm gonna ring the bell, and I want you to listen to how long the sound of the bell rings. And when you don't hear the bell anymore, we're gonna raise our hand, okay? So let's look at each other this time, and you can look at the bell, but really listen, okay? If you want, you can come in close. You're coming closer, coming closer. Okay, ready? Okay, so listen, please. Ready? Okay. Now, I may be hearing the bell longer than you because why? Because in this computer land, I'm right next to the bell, And you're hearing the bell on my microphone, which is down here. So we have little technology things. Now, if we were all sitting here in my home studio, we also might hear the bell sound lasting shorter and longer. So again, it's not right or wrong if you have family around you and someone raises their hand at a different time than you. It's not a problem. Do your listening, be present on purpose for you and what works for you. Okay, so we're gonna try that one more time. Actually, we're gonna try it 2 more times. Again, you can either this time leave your eyes open or see about closing them. Ready? Good job. Like, does it surprise you that the bell actually lasts that long? Sometimes it surprises me. All right, one last time. And this time I really encourage you to try closing your eyes. If it feels really uncomfortable, don't worry about it. But sometimes if we remove one kind of sensory input like sight, it helps turn on and make another one even stronger. So if we close our eyes, our sense of sound can be even stronger. So let's try that. Ready? Wow. And then before we move any further, guys, no matter your age, if you're 2 or 90, can you take a minute and notice how you feel right now? Like, do you feel like more energetic from when we started together, or do you feel a little more grounded and calm? Either way is okay. For a lot of people, taking a few moments to drop into the body using sensory input, which is a great anchor for practicing mindfulness meditation, but that dropping into the present moment is really grounding. All right, so really good job trying that. Okay, so we're gonna try one more kind of sensory meditation, and it's called a sound meditation. And I think we could do it for 1 minute. What do you guys think? Let me see, I see 2, I see 5. We could do it for 20. But you know what, today we'll start it for 1. And then parents or caregivers, as you continue this, anytime, anywhere, you can change the time of it, okay? So what we're gonna do, I will ring the bell to start us, and I'll ring the bell for us to stop. And what we're gonna do is close our eyes if it's comfortable for us, and just really tune into the sounds, and I'll guide you through it, and I'll ask you to zoom in and listen to the sounds that are really close by, and then I'll ask you to zoom out and listen to the sounds that are far away. And that's it. All right, ready? Okay, so find a comfortable sitting position. I'm gonna change the order of my crisscross yoga sauce, balance my body. All right, sound meditation for 1 minute. Find your comfortable sitting position, close your eyes or lower your gaze to the ground, and we'll begin. As the bell comes to a point of quietness and stillness, let our bodies and minds also come to quiet and stillness. And tuning into your sense of sound, see if you can zoom in and notice the sounds that are really close by. Maybe it's your breath. Maybe it's my voice. Maybe it's someone working nearby. Whatever the sound is, can you accept it? Not make it good or bad. Just notice. And now let's zoom out and notice any sounds that seem far away. Like maybe in the neighborhood, or up in the sky, or in a tree, across the house. Just notice. And if the mind wanders and you start thinking about something other than sound, it's not a problem. Just bring your attention back to what you're hearing right here, right now. With the sound of the bell, softly open your eyes, maybe look around to your space right around you, and then come back to our online virtual space together. So how was that? Was that like thumbs up? That was pretty cool. Maybe did you notice a sound you haven't noticed before? And this is a great time just to have a conversation about what different people's experience is with a sound meditation or any meditation. One of the things I often hear from students, especially when I do this in schools, is a lot of students, maybe they've been in the same classroom for months and they never noticed the clock ticking on the wall, right? Some of you remember that from this year. Or maybe there's a fan or the air vent above, and like just haven't really noticed that that sound creates this really kind of sweet hum. So it's really interesting when we practice sound meditation, what we can notice in our environment. And then also if we can name it, if we want to put significance on it, right? Like Snow White probably has very different opinions of apples than we do. And that's just based on her experience. So sometimes we'll hear a sound and we may name it, want to name it as good or bad, or pleasant or unpleasant. And it might be that way for me and someone else. And can we open the possibility that sounds aren't good or bad, they just are. I'll give you an example. The other day I was sitting outside in my yard doing a sound meditation, and I heard this tap, 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 tap. And at first I thought, I'm trying to have a sound meditation and I want to hear only good sounds. And so it kept happening. And I thought, well, let me go see what that is. Let me get curious. Let me get my mindfulness, curiosity and compassion, those two wings of mindfulness. Let me get those on. And I went and I walked over, and up in my bamboo, guess what was there? Come here, come in close. Guess what was there? A woodpecker. Tiny cute woodpecker. So all of a sudden I went from the sound being like, oh, what an annoying tapping sound, to I was like, it's a miracle. There's a woodpecker in my bamboo. So we can always try to practice being open, seeing where, being curious about where we're putting significance or naming something as good or bad, and just being open to the possibilities. Great. So again, there's a lot of different ways we can practice mindfulness, and using sound as an anchor, right? As a way to help us come to still, no matter what's happening around us, like a boat on water. Sound is a great anchor, and one of the most accessible ones for all ages. You guys did great with that. All right, let's think now a little about what yoga is. And I know we've talked about it before, and one of the easiest ways I know how to define what yoga is let me see your kind hands. Let me see them. All right, let's take our kind hands. Let's connect them. So yoga means to yoke, or to unite with kindness. So kind hands. We can give ourselves a shanti hug, shanti, shanti, toko el so. So we can use our kind hands to take care of ourselves. That's a really important part of yoga. And then we can take our kind hands and reach them out, and maybe reach over to a family member, maybe give somebody a gentle high five, maybe say, you're amazing, you're amazing, you're amazing, right? So we can use our kind hands as a way to reach out and to connect with others. It's another really important part of yoga. And then we can really practice seeing how we can reach out to all human beings, all creatures, all beings, all woodpeckers, the whole universe, and connect with kindness, with the intention of connecting with kindness, right? And so you might notice that all of those things about connecting with kindness, I said nothing about a yoga mat. So practicing yoga on a mat is one part of yoga, But the big picture of yoga is really about connecting with kindness to ourselves, others, and the earth. Speaking of earth, I think this is a great time to do our earth salutation and just get our body moving a little bit, because moving our body is definitely another way to help us come into the present moment with intention, right? Now, for those of you who are new to our class, to Yogiños classes, we have an earth salutation that we like to do with an original Yogiños song, and the song is called I Am Amazing, and we have 3 poses we do in our earth salutation. So kind of like a story has a beginning, a middle, and end, our earth salutation also has a sequence of doing this, and then this, and then this. Okay, so the first pose that we do is called child's pose. In Sanskrit, the name is balasana. And child's pose is a great pose to do on the ground like this. And I'm also going to show you a sitting version, which looks like this, where we can bend our knees, hug our knees in, and lower our head down. Because sometimes we may have a friend, a student, a child, or us, we may not want to take away our sensory input. We may not want to close our eyes. So always providing options is a really beautiful thing to do. So child's pose is our first pose in our earth salutation. And it's like giving the body a big bear hug. It's great anytime. It's great before bedtime too. Okay, the second pose is cat pose. And in this pose, you can see we arch our back up like a rainbow or scary Halloween cat. And moving our spine around every day, and we'll then do part of cat pose where we shake our cat tail. So this is also really helpful to do every day. It's great to get out of bed in the morning and do cat pose and move your spine around. Great. The third pose in our earth salutation is dun, 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 downward dog. And this pose is also awesome because it compresses the joints and muscles. It can help us really feel fantastic. So doing this sequence is really grounding and can just really help us feel our best. It's a great little brain break between classes or during your work day. All right, so go ahead and come to your mat, or if you have a space where you're practicing your yoga, and I'll put our sequence here. So it's child's pose, cat pose, downward dog. I'll play our music. And when we end, we'll be in child's pose, and I'll ring the bell 3 times to bring us out of child's pose. So at the end of our earth salutation, we'll play another little sound meditation game that a lot of the kids and students like to play. Ready? Okay, here comes the music. Let's get ready for cat. So come up to all fours.
The eternal word is all what
Stretch your back up.
What is and what will be.
Get your nose to your toes.
What beyond is in eternity.
And relax.
The eternal word is all what was. What is and what will be. What beyond is in eternity.
Roll your toes under.
All
Straighten your legs for downward dog. Here you can bend one knee to the other. We call this walking the dog. Push your hands firmly into the earth. Push away the earth. Move your chest or heart closer to your feet. You are amazing. All right, let's lower our knees back to the earth and sit back for child's pose. We'll do our sequence one more time. And come up to cat.
The eternal word is all what was, what is, and what will be.
And relax.
What beyond is in
Now
eternity.
here, if you want, we can move our cat tail side to side.
The eternal word
Move
is
our
all
ears
what was,
side to
what is,
side.
and what will
Great
be.
for our
What
spine.
beyond is in
Right,
eternity.
ready?
All
Downward
in
dog. I am amazing. Sing it with me.
I am amazing.
Take one leg up.
I am
Bring one leg down.
amazing.
See about taking your other
I
leg
am
up.
amazing.
And that leg down. Turn your knees to the earth. Sit back child's pose. And listen for the bell to ring 3 times. Good job. Let's slowly sit up. Coming to crisscross yoga sauce. So since we're done with our earth salutation, I'm going to restore this work and put it away so I'll know where to find it next time. All right, so when we take care of ourselves and others in yoga, those are known as 2 parts of yoga called niyamas and yamas, because there are 8 parts of yoga. We're going to do a lot of them today. Doing poses on the mat, that's another part called asanas. And you know I love to say asana because doing poses helps us feel good, like ah. So another part of yoga is called pranayama, where we practice breathing in an intentional way. So I have a little breathing game that we're going to play. I've been playing this some of the classes this week, and they really liked it. So I hope you guys like it. So what I have for breathing dice, for this game rather, is breathing dice. And I'm going to come in close and just say a little something about them because you could make them at home this summer. All right, so what I have are for your classroom, either online or in person. So these are store-bought little cubes, and they're made of foam, and then they have like little whiteboards on them. So you can see on one dice, I just drew some numbers. So an adult could do that, or a kiddo. And on the other dice, I have some of my favorite breaths for like primary and lower and upper elementary students. And for even parents, like the numbers, upside down. The numbers show counting breath. The bumblebee is for bumblebee breath. We've got a wave for ocean breath. Hand hat, because when we do hand hat, it cools us off like a snowman. And of course, last but not least, flower power, right? So then obviously you can roll the number dice that tells you how many times you're gonna do the breath, and then you roll the breath dice, and that's the breath you're gonna do. Like we can leave these as work on the shelf or in the living room, and maybe every hour you walk by and practice a breath. Okay, now for the homemade version, I made this like 5 years ago with my youngest daughter, Grace. We took a tissue box and we covered it with some wrapping paper, and then we each drew some of our favorite breaths. So for example, Sweet Grace drew flower power, and then we just taped it on, and it's been on here for 5 years. I drew roar for lion's breath, and then one of them fell off. Not a problem, that's the free space, right? So a great way to recycle, repurpose something like a tissue box and use it as your self-regulation breathing tool. So why is learning some of these tools important? Because we can start to use them to notice when we feel the heat of anger and practice stopping, taking a breath, having that be like that pause button when we're watching a movie or listening to a song. So we can kind of chill out, calm down, and then respond, right? Because it's okay to be angry, it's okay to be frustrated, but it's how we respond to it that matters. So learning different breaths can give us access to that pause button and help us calm down. Also, just focusing on your breath is also a great way to practice mindfulness of body. All right, enough talking, let's play the game. All right, I have the number dice here. So we're gonna see how many times we're gonna play the breathing game, okay? So let's see what that says. Woo! It says we're gonna play 6 times. Let's see if we get through 6 times. All right, so you guys help me roll it. We'll pick our first breath. 1, 2, 3. Woo, and we got a number 3. All right, let's see what breath we're gonna do 3 times. 1, here you help me. 2, oh, you want to shake it? 3. Woo, and we got hand hat. And this is where you can see, I don't draw very well, but I certainly try, and that's what counts, right? Okay, so hand hat, which is the hat on the snowman, because doing this breath, as I mentioned, helps us chill out and feel like we're grounded to the earth. All right, so I'm gonna show you hand hat pose and then the breath. So let me see your kind hands. And let's take our kind hands and put them on top of our head. And don't like scrunch down like a turtle. Press up into your hands so your back and your spine are upright, but not super rigid. Okay, so this is hand hat. So you could even do this if you start to feel frustrated. You could just be like, hey, how's it going, friends? And the reason this helps calm the body down is, first of all, because our hands are occupied. Thank you, Dr. Montessori, for that suggestion. When our hands are occupied, we have more opportunity for success. And then on top of our head, we have a pressure point, like an acupressure point. So when it gets a little bit of pressure, helps the body feel grounded. All right, that's hand hat. Now let's add breath. And so for hand hat breath, we end up tracing the breath when we breathe in. We trace our hands up. When we get to the pause of that breath, we flip our hands. And then as we breathe out, we trace the breath coming down, rest the hands here, and then we breathe in, trace the breath up, trying to match the movement with the breath, and breathe out, bring them down. Okay, so we're doing this one 3 times. 3 veces. Are you ready? Okay. Ready? Don't hold your breath. And feel free to go at your own pace. That was 2, here's 3. Awesome. Give yourselves a pat on the back for trying that hand tap breath. Yeah, and then just take a moment and notice. Does your body feel any different? Does it feel more energized, more grounded? Could feel either way, and either way isn't right or wrong, and it just, what's important is noticing the shift and how these tools literally help transform how we're feeling. Okay, let's try another breath. You ready? All right, here's the dice. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. All right, that time we rolled a 5. Let's see what we have next for our breath. 1, 2, 3. Oh, flower power breath. Woohoo! Let's hear it for flower power breath. All right, so let me see your kind hand. Wave at me, I'm waving at you. Hello, friends. Then let's take that kind hand and stretch up and over. So really stretching my side body, which is a great way to help your core get stronger. Wave at the sun, say hello, sun. And let's rainbow it down and out and reach, 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 reach. Maybe reach for a friend or a pet. Hello, you're amazing. And gently touch the earth. Tap the earth. Tapping is calming. And let's pick that imaginary flower and bring it up for a nice smell in. Breathe out with an ah. That's one. Take the other hand up, arch it over. Let's wave at the sun. And now we'll say hello to the sun in Spanish. Hola, sol. And reach down, stretch, 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 stretch the side body. And gently tap, touch the earth. Hola, tierra. Let's pick that imaginary flower, take it up to your nose and breathe in. Oh, and remember, breathing in is energizing, breathing out is calming. Even when we breathe out a little slowly, that also helps reset the nervous system. All right, so that was 2 flower power breaths. Now, let's pick a really big flower. Ready? Maybe it's like a really big sunflower, which I love because they're always looking for the light, the sun, what's positive. We can do some of that too. Let's take a big breath in and then blow it out to all of our friends and family. Ready? Awesome job, awesome job. Okay, now we're gonna pick a bunch of flowers and we're gonna put them in our pockets. We're gonna do flowers from our pockets for the fourth and fifth breath, but I'll show you, ready? So I'm gonna reach back behind me and pick some flowers here and from over here, maybe up here and over here, back behind me over here. And I've got all these imaginary flowers. What should we do with them? Yes, put them in our pockets. Put them in your pockets. Put them up in your pants and in your shirt and in my necklace and maybe in my hair. And then anytime I feel sad or angry or frustrated, I can go into my pocket. So join me. This is our fourth flower power breath. Go into your pocket, get out a flower. Go ahead and breathe it in and out. Good. Because flower power can always be with you. Okay, for our fifth flower power, we need to come in close. So come in close, come in close, come in close, come in really, really close. Okay, so pick one of your flowers. I'm gonna pick one from this pocket and then we're gonna share it. We're gonna give it to each other. Ready? There you go. Oh, thank you. Oh, wait, let me grab another one. Oh, here you go. Oh, let me catch that one. All right, oh, wait, there's another one. There's like all these flowers we're sharing. I love it. And maybe if there's someone in the room with you, you could take one out and say, oh, here, you want a flower power? There you go. Okay. So you can do it with me. Okay, ready? So now that we've shared flower power with each other, let's again, whether we're in person or we're in this virtual space, let's think of someone who we haven't seen in person for a while. Maybe a friend or a teacher, or maybe a family member. And we're going to send them flower power, right? And wish them just a beautiful, grounded flower power day. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And again, let's just pause here for a moment and notice how you feel now, right here, right now. And does it feel any differently than maybe when we first started? Do you feel more energy or more calm or maybe like a little bit of warmth of like love because we're thinking of people we love? And all of that would be really natural and normal. So thinking about flower powers and things we love, I am thinking also about what helps us stay warm every day, which includes the sun. So let us do our sun salutation, Toko al Sol. And first we'll do it sitting and then we'll do it standing, right? Because it's always helpful to have an option that feels best for you anytime, anywhere, or depending on where you are. Like if you're in the car, sitting is gonna be way easier than standing, right? Okay, so let me remind you of the movements and then we'll do the sitting one together. Okay, so it's I am amazing. I know you guys can do better than that. Come on, let's say it like we mean it. Ready? I am amazing. Good. Let's reach our hands up and say, I am amazing. Hands come together. We're gonna tilt like for a sitting crescent moon pose. Say, Namaste. Tilt to the other side. Namaste. And tap the earth. I touch the earth. Show me your muscles. I am strong. I am fun. Shanti. Shanti. I touch the sun. Shanti, Shanti, I touch the sun. All right, so we do it 4 times. English, Spanish, English, Spanish. Are you ready? Yeah? Okay, so parents know that sometimes kids like to watch, and that's how they're absorbing what's happening. It's totally okay. There's mirror neurons going on, so they're getting some of the benefit, and then they might choose to do it later when you replay this. So watching is also a really cool way to participate. All right, let's go. All right, I hope you sing along with me. Here we go. First time is English.
I am amazing. amazing, I am amazing. Namaste, namaste. Touch the earth, I am strong, I'm fun. Shanti, shanti, touch the sun. Shanti, shanti, touch the sun.
Take your legs up long and shake. Crisscross the other way. Here we go in Spanish.
You're so amazing, you're so amazing. Namaste, namaste. Toco la tierra, yo estoy fuerte, soy alegre. Shante, shante, toco el sol. Shante, shante, toco el sol.
Take your legs out long and squeeze down your legs like a little body massage. Here we go in English.
I am amazing, I am amazing. Namaste, namaste. Touch the earth, I am strong, I'm fun. Shanti, shanti, touch the sun. Shanti, shanti, touch the sun.
Take your legs up wide and swipe. Swiping is also good for the body. Here we go, last time.
You're so amazing, you're so amazing. Namaste, namaste. Toco la tierra, yo soy fuerte, soy alegre. Shante, shante, toco el sol. Shante, shante, toco el sol.
All right, let's take our hands to our heart. Do you feel your heart beating a little differently? Just a little bit? Yeah, I feel a little more movement. My breath's a little different than it was after flower power. And that's because we move the body like that. When we exercise, we put the body under good stress. So I know we hear a lot about bad stress. There's also good stress. And so, but one of the things that our body does in a response to stress, both good and challenging stress, is our heart rate can increase and our breath can increase. And anytime we notice those things happening in our body, we can choose to focus on our breath, like flower power breath, to slow the breath down, or drop into a sound meditation to just help bring our body and mind back into this present moment. All right, cool. So now we're going to try the Standing Sun Salutation. I'll walk you through what the poses are, and then we'll do it again to the music. And of course, you'll have the choice to do it either standing or sitting, whatever works best for you. All right, so I'm going to adjust my camera, and then we will begin. So you may want to come to standing in your area, right? And if you have a yoga mat, that's great. And if you don't have a yoga mat, that's great too, because you can do yoga anytime. Sorry, just want to give you guys the best view. All right, so we start out our sun salutation by standing in mountain pose. And I'll do that facing you. So you may recall it's standing on both feet pretty evenly and really grounding your muscles, your feet rather, down into the earth, arms along your sides, reaching up through the crown of your head. You might even just want to say, like, I am strong. I'm grounded like a mountain. And the thing about practicing this pose, mountain pose, montaña or Tadasana, and even saying to yourself, I am strong like a mountain, right? Because one of the things we learn through mindfulness and yoga is that idea that the weather's the weather. The weather's gonna be what the weather's gonna be. The thoughts are gonna be what the thoughts are gonna be. And like a mountain, we can work to stay still and just watch those clouds, those thoughts, some of those emotions and feelings, just watch them go on by without grabbing them and reacting to them. Right? All right, so our sun salutation starts in mountains. Now I'm going to do that at the top of my yoga mat. So we're going to reach our arms up and say, I am amazing. Slight bend in the knees, that helps our back. We're going to bend forward, touching the ground, and say, I am amazing. From here, let's take one big giant dinosaur step back and say, Namaste. We're going to plant both hands, like giving the earth a high 10 into the ground, fingers and thumbs moving forward. Step the front foot back and say Namaste. From here, for kids and families, it can be nice to lower your knees to the ground, bend your elbows towards the back of the mat, chest touches down, and say, I touch the earth. Toenails come into the ground. Gently lift your heart, even lift your hands for a low cobra. And we lift our hands to protect our lower back. And here we say, I am strong. Hands come back down. We come up to low plank, high plank. Push back to downward dog. Move the shoulders away from the ears, slight bend in the elbows, and say, I am fun. Big giant step forward and say Shanti. We're going to bring the back foot to meet the front. Shanti. Slight bend in my knees. I'm going to reach all the way up and say, I touch the sun. Shanti. Shanti. I touch the sun. Ready? All right, so you have your choice, either the Standing Sun Salutation or the sitting one, or you could do a hybrid. I've seen some kids do a hybrid where they stand up to do the motions of the sitting one. Your choice, and you know what? You can always make up your own sequence. That's the fun of this. You can be your own creator. All right, here we go. Are you smiling? Let me see Smileasana. All right, let's get ready.
I am amazing, I am amazing. Namaste, namaste. Touch the earth, I am strong, I'm far. Shanti, shanti, touch the sun. Shanti, shanti, touch the sun.
To the back of your mat. Move to the front. Mountain. Here we go in Spanish.
Yo soy amazing, yo soy amazing. Namaste, namaste. Toco la tierra y yo soy fuerte, soy alegre. Shanti, shanti, toco el sol. Shanti, shanti, toco el sol.
Turn around once like the earth is every day, 24 hours. Here we go in English.
I am amazing, I am amazing. Namaste, namaste. Touch the earth, I am strong, I'm fun. Shanti, shanti, touch the sun. Shanti, shanti, touch the sun.
Dance on your mat. Last time in Spanish.
Yo soy amazing, yo soy amazing. Namaste, namaste. Toco la tierra, yo soy fuerte y soy alegre. Shanti, shanti, toco el sol. Shanti, shanti, toco el sol.
Nice. Woo. Good job. All right, now let's put a hand on the heart, on the chest. And notice your breath. All right, do you notice now we put the body under a little more stress? Good stress. You can feel the heart beating more. The breath, how would you describe your breath right now? I would describe mine as faster, a little rougher, it feels warmer. All good things. But if my body's under stress and I want to ground it down or help it chill out like that snowman, I can do some breaths to help my body ground down. So let's do 2 flower power breaths. Ready? Reach forward. Good, let's do the other side. Reach forward. All right, let's check in again. So hands in our chest, feel the heart. I still feel it, well, that's good. Let's check in with the breath. So my breath isn't completely back to normal, but it's definitely slowed down. So again, friends, sometimes when we're really frustrated or angry, that heat of anger can feel like the heat in my body right now after like working out and moving around. So if I can notice as I'm starting to feel the heat of anger, and instead of getting really, really mad and like yelling or throwing stuff, I can pause and do some breathing to help see if I can calm myself down. Pretty cool, right? Awesome. All right, we are gonna return to our game. We're gonna do one more, I think, and then we're gonna do a quiet pose, a restorative pose, and then a little loving kindness meditation. How does that sound? Good? Awesome. All right. Oh, wait, we have another game to play. Sorry, I forgot. Okay, you know what? Actually, for time's sake, yeah, we'll do one more breath, then we'll do the game. Sorry, see? We can make decisions on the go. All right, so here's the number dice. And it came up to a 2. And let's see what the breathing dice is. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Ooh, we got Bumblebee. Super fun. All right, so we're gonna do 2 Bumblebee breaths. So let me see your kind hands. You put them on your shoulders. And let's make our little bumblebee wings, moving your elbows forward and around. It's good for your shoulders too. All right, and then what does a bumblebee sound like? Yeah, it does kind of sound like that. And what's so crazy, you guys, and so cool, that buzzing sound, bzz, that actually buzzing sound, that little vibration helps your body calm down, kind of like when we go om. All right, so let's buzz like a bee. Do you think we can do it for 5 seconds? I think so. I'll do the counting. Keep moving your bumblebee wings. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Bzz. Cool. All right, let's take our wings the other direction. Let's unwind them. So moving your elbows up and back. This is also good for your chest muscles. All right, let's see if we can buzz for a second time for 5 seconds. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Bzz. Freeze. Whew. That is some good work being a bumblebee, right? Awesome. Now, when my kids were little, we used to do that in the car sometimes on car trips, and we'd say, okay, who thinks we can do it for 7 seconds? Who thinks we can do it for 10 seconds? And then there's this funny video somewhere of my youngest, she was like 2 going bzz, 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 bzz. She hadn't quite figured out that part of the idea is you go buzz and you hold it. It's really fun to do as a family though. All right, so I think I said I thought we would do 6 breaths today. We definitely did more than 6 breaths. We didn't do 6 different kinds of breaths, but you can always come hang out with me online or check out stuff on my website and you can do stuff there. Okay, so what I want to do next is I want to see about creating a quick mindfulness game that you guys can have around the house. Or you can even, I've been keeping mine near my desk and it's been really helping me to focus. So I'm going to show you what it is and you can then create it at home. So what I did is I traced my hand on a piece of paper. See? And then in each finger I wrote, and I've done this with groups of students, we talked about what are the 5 senses. Smell and sight and taste and hearing and touch. And so we wrote 1 in each of the fingers. And then we went back and said, I asked, think of each of those forms of sensory input and what is your favorite thing about that sensory input. So like for my touch, I put my dog. Like I love to pet my dogs. For sight, it was sunrise. For hearing, maybe today I would put woodpecker. Anyway, so this is what is one that I created, right? So super simple, just a hand with the 5 senses and things I enjoy. And then once you have this, you could roll the dice to make it a number. You could get a pebble. I happen to have a feather. And so what I'll do is I have this on my desk and I might be working and noticing that I'm feeling distracted. So I might take a moment and go outside, put my timer on for a minute, do a minute sound meditation. I might come to my mat and do a sun salutation or an earth salutation. Or maybe I need to get back to work pretty quickly so I can play my mindfulness game. I dropped the feather on it and it landed on touching dog. So I'll say, okay, for 1 minute, I'm going to call my dog over and touch my dog. And I focus on that, and I notice the texture of the fur and all of those things. And when the minute's over, my brain has just practiced for a minute focusing and on something I've already said was enjoyable, so positive, and then I shift that positivity to the task at hand, whether it's learning how to count in my math class or creating a big proposal, right? So that's a cool little fun game, another game that you can do anytime, any place. So friends, let's take a few minutes, and thanks kids for watching that little bit of instruction. Let's take a moment and we're gonna do Sleeping Butterfly with a loving kindness meditation where we're gonna wish love to ourselves and others. And after that, we'll sing Namaste and end our time together. Gosh, these hours go by so quickly. I feel like I could hang out with you guys forever. You are like so much fun. Okay, so for Sleeping Butterfly, you can come back to your mat or to an area that feels right for you. And this is one of my favorite poses to do at bedtime. I've been doing it at bedtime, I don't know, for like 15 years. So I'm gonna start out by bending my knees with my feet on the ground, put my hands down, and I'm gonna use my hands to support my body as I come all the way back to the earth. My feet are together, and then I'm gonna open my knees wide. So this is Sleeping Butterfly. In Sanskrit, it is Supta Baddha Konasana. And in our Yogiños Spanish languaging, we sometimes call it Mariposa Dormida. So from here, let's take a big belly breath in, hands on your belly, breathe in, let your belly grow big. As you breathe out, let everything soften and relax. If you want, put a hand on your heart, a hand on your belly. These, remember I talked about how the top of the head had that little pressure point? There's also pressure points on your chest and belly. So when you give them a little pressure, it helps feel good. Let's just close our eyes and notice our breath. Notice our breath breathing in. And notice our breath breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. In, out. So now, friends, bring to mind someone who you love so much and you know they love you too. Like thinking about them, and maybe it's a bunch of people, you already start to smile. And now repeat these words after me, either inwardly or aloud, to this person that you're thinking about. May you be happy. May you be at ease. May you be peaceful. May you be strong. Good job, you guys. And now let's think of one of our teachers in our lives who maybe we don't get to see every day now in our classroom in school, or maybe it's an administrator at the school, someone who works on computers, or maybe at the front desk, or maybe the head of school or your director. Let's think of some people who we know who've been working so hard for us from our school. And as those faces come to mind, let's wish them this loving kindness. So repeat inwardly to yourself or out loud to these people. May you be happy. May you be at ease. May you be peaceful. May you be strong. Good, and then notice if your chest area, if you feel a little warmth like the presence of love and kindness literally showing up in your body right now. You might even feel like when mom or dad or a caregiver gives you a hug and it feels all snuggly wuggly. Sometimes when we just think about people we love, we get that snuggly wuggly feeling. All right, so noticing that snuggly wuggly feeling. Now I want you to think of like the most important person in the world, and that's you. Seriously. And we're gonna give ourselves this loving kindness, okay? So you can repeat, in fact, I invite you to repeat this out loud after me to yourself. May I be happy. May I be at ease. May I be peaceful. May I be strong. So know that the cool thing about practicing this kind of meditation, which is called a metta meditation or loving kindness, it literally helps change the brain patterns in our brain to be more positive. All right, let's lift our legs, bring our knees back together, lift your feet off the ground, hug your knees in, rock side to side, give yourself a really big hug, and then we're gonna rock all the way up to forward. Woo, that was fun. All right, and as we bring our time together to a close, and after we've talked about and practiced mindfulness, anchors we can use to intentionally be in the moment without judgment and with compassion. We can focus on sound or our breath, many, many anchors. But it's a great way to practice paying attention on purpose. And then we practice some of the different kinds of yoga, taking care of myself and others. We did breathing, we did poses, we practiced some sensory control, like when we closed our eyes or in child's pose, we quiet the sense of sight. We listened really carefully, that's cultivating sense. We practiced focus, which is another part of yoga. We practiced quite a bit of meditation. And then the last limb of yoga, being connected to something within us that's bigger than us and bigger than the universe. And hopefully there were those moments you felt that warmth and sense of connection and satisfaction and safety. And that's all things, again, that practice of yoga, which is all about connection, are all ways that we can practice yoga on the mat and off the mat, right? All right, so we're gonna sing the Namaste Song, and Namaste is, I think, a beautiful way of saying, it means hello and goodbye. And when we greet people by saying hello, and we part ways with someone and say goodbye, it's a way of showing our goodness, our respect, that I honor you, and I really want you to honor me. So to each and every one of you, I say namaste, and we'll go ahead and sing this song. And I'm just gonna dive right into it. Let's sit crisscross yoga sauce. You can put your hands in Anjali Mudra, which means offering of love, or on your chest, whatever feels better for you. And here we go.
Namaste, namaste, the light in me sees the light in you. Namaste, namaste, you honor me, I honor you.
Change the order of my legs. Kind of trying to stay balanced.
Namaste, namaste, today when need me presenti. Namaste, namaste, rezas por mí, rezo por ti.
A little crazy there with my offering.
Namaste, namaste, the light in me sees the light in you. Namaste, namaste, you honor me, I honor you.
Last time with Spanish friends.
Namaste, namaste, te veo en mí, mi presenti. Namaste, namaste, rezas por mí. mi razón por ti.
I want to thank you all so much for joining me, Beth Reese, part of Post Oak Presents. I hope you have enjoyed all the offerings. Big five, high fives, thumbs up to Post Oak for providing this service, this opportunity for all of us. Be amazing. Have a great rest of your school year. And if you're curious about any trainings about mindfulness or yoga for kids, check us out at yogiños.com. Thanks so much. Have a great day and week.